Hi PACCv friends, my name's Cami and we're drawing a bunny today. We're going to do a watercolor bunny. It's going to look something like this. This one's on a canvas. I'm going to use paper today, so it's going to look a little different because the paper absorbs the water and this didn't so much. So it took a long time for it to dry, but it worked out really great and it was super easy and very fun, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to have a good time doing this today. All you need is water, watercolor, or water-soluble paint, so acrylic or tempera will be fine. You're going to need a canvas or paper. You're going to need a black pen or marker, and did I say water? Because you're going to need water. And here we go. I'm going to set my camera up so you can see my paper and get started. So the first thing we're going to do with this watercolor painting is we're going to use a water base. We're going to start with the flower crown. So you're going to kind of use and make a rainbow of plain water. You can't see it, but it's just water. It's there. Kind of making a kind of like a blob that's in a rainbow shape. I'm going to use some pink here. Just kind of a dot. Look, and then it kind of spreads out. So do a couple pink flowers. Some big ones. So the wetter your paper is, the more it'll spread. I like it when it spreads. That's what I love about watercolor, is it's super, super unpredictable. It's great for people who get like obsessive about doing things just right, because you cannot predict which way the water will go. So not all flowers are open like this. Some flowers are little small blooms, to make tiny little dots for those. The next color I'm going to pick is going to be orange. And I'm going to make some dots the same way you do with the pink. Just make a couple dots of orange. Rinse your brush out between every color. And I'm going to come back and do some yellows. And that's kind of it. That's your flower crown. Took us all of like 15-20 seconds. I would rinse your brush out now, and you're going to do some green for the leaves. I try to do this early in the morning so I wouldn't disturb my family, but some of them are already up. You'll probably hear some people moving around. So that's kind of it for this. So that's all we're done. You can see, excuse me, that over here my orange and my green bled together and kind of made a brown, which is fine. Rinse off your brush so there's no more paint left on it. Just take some water, and we're going to make the shape of the bunny head, which is kind of, my water is getting dark, so hopefully you can see where I'm drawing. The shape of the bunny is kind of like a triangle, so it's going to be wide at the bottom and narrow at the top. Be very careful as you get close to your flower crown not to touch it, because all those beautiful colors are going to come down into your bunny face if you do. So I'm really careful as I go around the edge of my flowers not to touch them. Same with the ears. You can make short fat ears like this, or you can make long skinny ears. Let's make kind of short fat ones. I always make long skinny ones, so I'm going to try something different. What I like about watercolors, besides the fact that they're super unpredictable, is that you can layer them and add more color. So if you don't like how light and maybe shapeless the pink is, you can always go back with, I don't know, pick a red or something and kind of touch the insides with some red. And it's going to blurb out, or if you think the color is too dark and you want to make it lighter, get a Kleenex or a tissue or paper towels and kind of dab it, and it will dry it out and make it lighter. See? It makes the green lighter, and it also helps to dry it out quicker too if you like to do that. So, okay, we're doing the ears and we're doing the head. So then we pick a color of brown that you want to use. and you kind of start making dots for brown. Kind of go around the edges of the bunny head. You can see it's kind of getting, some is darker and some is lighter. Again, you can see I'm not just like filling it all in with color. I'm kind of like dotting it, right? Dot, 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 dot. And not just almost looks like the bunny ears are bigger than its head, huh? Which I think is cute. With watercolor, sometimes you don't know how it turns out until you're actually done with it. Go ahead and bring the color all the way across the top. I know it looks a little dotty and spotty, but as it bleeds out, it'll be less like that. If you find you put too much color down, like over here, you don't like how it is, you can use this color to drag the color up higher to other places. You can put some of this color up here. And if you're pretty certain that it's starting to dry by the flowers, you can bring the color down closer to the flowers too. If you want to make the bunny's cheeks fatter, go ahead and add some extra to the cheeks. You're not going to want a lot of color on for the nose, but once you have very little color on your thing, you're going to make kind of like a V nose. So kind of do up and down for a V, just like that. I'm going to add a second color of brown. I have a couple different colors. You can mix them if you like. Whew, look how dark that is. So I'm going to rinse that color off and just use what's on my palette now with some water, or what's on the, sorry, not the palette, the canvas or the paper. And I'm going to move that color around because that was too much of that reddish color for me. I didn't want that much red. And again, if you feel like you put too much color down like I just did, you just kind of, and it makes it disappear. I think adding a little bit of yellow, like a lighter yellow to this, is really pretty. So I'm going to add some yellow. So we're going to get yellow on our brush and add some yellow by the cheeks. It might look a little unusual now, but I think you should just go with it, right? Make the bunny more fun when it has some bright colors in it. And speaking of bright colors, you rinse this out and we're going to give our bunny a nice little blushy cheek. So if you have like a pink, use that. If you don't, mix your white and red like I just did and kind of just touch it here, and it's going to just blur out and make a really pretty blush. Kind of touch that pink to the nose as well in a V shape, and then the inside of your ears, just kind of touching. That's pretty much it. Now you're just going to have to let your painting dry. Once it's dry, we're going to come back through and do I already have one done. You don't do this to yours, but I will do this to mine because I want to show you real quick how to add the inking portion of it. And you might not want to. Maybe you like it the way it is, but for this, you're just going to kind of on the edges, just some, I hope you can see this, draw some little fur lines where the fur goes. It does not have to be all the way around the bunny. It can just be portions of the bunny. Just making little, kind of like watercolor. It's not like a bunch of lines. It's just a little bit of lines here and there. And you kind of do the same thing for the ears. A couple lines here, 1, 2, 3, 5. Then you're going to do like 2. Those 2 weren't even in the color. These were all in the color. There's always like an inside line to the, so kind of on the inside too. going to go ahead and put some at the top. It's really sporadic, right? There's no real rhyme or reason. Kind of go across there. You can see where my V is for the bunny nose, so you're kind of going to make, I just kind of do quick little dashes and lines. Again, you're not looking to make solid lines anywhere, but you're kind of just, because bunnies are fuzzy, they don't have hard lines on their faces. But once you make that V there, you're going to take the top of the nose and kind of follow it around and make little, his little cheeks kind of go around the little pink that we did to make that. Now the flowers you can leave plain like this, which I did on mine. The first one I didn't really put anything around my flowers, but here I feel like maybe you can. So you can just kind of, you know, make petals. Make lines. Kind of like, this one's kind of like a spiral. Kind of curling from the outside in, making it really jaggy. The point is that the water is unpredictable, and so your line should be kind of. Don't make them too predictable. Don't try too hard. Sometimes we get in our way when we think we paint. It's got to look a certain way. So kind of like let go of that and just be loose. Okay, so that's the outside lines of the bunny. So this part is probably, it's not hard, but you'll probably think this is the hardest part maybe, because, so above where the cheeks are, kind of like the outside of the cheeks, bunny's eyes are very wide set. Make a line like this, and over on the other side, make a line like that. Now I'm worried that those are too far apart. We'll see. And then kind of do the same. So these are like, what would you call those? I don't know what shape that is. Making a circle in each of them. This is for the reflection. Go ahead and fill it in with black. Look, our bunny is starting to come together. So for this eye here on this side, make some eyelashes. All right, don't do them on the other side yet. For this one, we're gonna have like kind of like a little, make some dots going down along the edge. And we're going to do that kind of on the outside too. Making some dots going down that edge, all the way down to the bottom. These have little, if you need to make the eye bigger a little bit, then make it bigger like I just did. On this eye, oh, I think that's what I did wrong. So on this eye, we're going to kind of make a second line like that, and we're going to make the eyelashes there. I kind of go back and make it really a rough line and do the dots under the eye here, because there are no hard lines really on a bunny's face, right? Because everything's furry, so I kind of go back and make it all jaggy, and maybe a couple. So that's kind of it. That's your bunny face. I hope you guys liked it. I said a few minutes. It was 14 to do all of it. So it's not too bad. I hope you had fun and are taking care of yourselves.